Well, after a little bit of hit and miss rain over the weekend, it's back to some hot weather all week long, but another slow-moving system could bring the chance of more rain and thunder by the end of the week. So as has been the pattern so far this late spring and summer, hit and miss showers and thunderstorms with a couple of pockets that got some good rains Saturday in southwestern Minnesota, and then Sunday parts of southeastern Minnesota saw some decent rain, some swaths of 2-3 inches of rain between Zumbrota, Cannon Falls, and then another one out towards the west around Morris and Ortonville. We had a little fog this morning thanks to some of those showers around, and you notice the humidity, some muggy air that's back, and that muggy air is going to be with us on and off this week, but otherwise it's going to be pretty hot. So this is the system from the weekend, this trough that's now moving east, but you can see this upper level ridge. Once again, this has been the dominant pattern since early May. This is really going to amplify again, but another big cutoff low trough in the west is slowly going to dig its way east, which will actually help to pump up the ridge here. So we're talking highs of 90 plus most of this week for southern and western Minnesota, with the core of that heat dome kind of centered right over us and just to the east. But as we head into the late week and weekend, that trough is going to make some progress and head our direction. We'll talk about that more in a second. But temperatures will be about 10 degrees above normal today. Really, this is kind of showing you the pattern with that upper level low trough in the west and east, cooler than normal temperatures, but the whole central part of the continent is going to be baking this week. Might be just shy of 90 today, but I think west central Minnesota, South Dakota, low to mid 90s there, probably upper 80s, close to 90 in the Twin Cities. And northeastern Minnesota is still cool. Lake Superior, though, will be the only place that keeps things on the cooler side. Tomorrow, highs will probably be around 90, and then, yeah, we're going to stay there probably Wednesday, Thursday, maybe even Friday, too. So a string of potential 90s. And as I mentioned, the dew points will be occasionally muggy. The grayish blue, those are dew points in the 60s. Might move a little bit west at times. Might get some breaks, especially in the afternoon with some of the daytime heating and mixing. Sometimes the dew points can drop temporarily, but it is going to be on and off muggy and plenty warm. The other thing we're going to have to worry about with the heat returning, sunshine and light winds, is ozone. Not necessarily smoke, but this is the forecast for tomorrow, central and southern Minnesota. Unhealthy for sensitive groups potentially, as ozone, the pollutants that are already in the surface layer of the atmosphere, reacts with sunlight and heat. And when there isn't a lot of wind to mix it up, that can build up. So we'll probably have that on and off. But as I mentioned, going back to the upper level pattern, this trough comes into the Dakotas here by the end of the week, and then it's going to slowly make its way across Minnesota. Very similar to this last weekend, but this time it might have more moisture, but still some questions as to how far east it gets, how much moisture it holds together. But already Wednesday, northwestern Minnesota will see some scattered showers and thunderstorms, and then it's kind of be basically bottled up to our north and west into Friday, even Saturday, and then finally Saturday night into Sunday, showers and thunderstorms break through. But if you remember last week, that kept getting delayed. So we'll see what the timing works out. But at this point, when we look at all the models, there is a good bet of maybe some better chances of widespread soaking rain, which we desperately need. But we've seen this movie before. We don't know if it'll quite pan out until you actually see it come together. It's still several days away, but some hopeful signs of maybe some moisture that we really could use here. So upper 80s today, hot all week, near 90. If you're keeping track at home, we've had 5 so far, so this could add another 4 to it. As we head through the end of June, the normal number is just 4. So if we end up with 9 or 10, we're certainly ahead of schedule, as we are already. And then it does cool off behind that system heading into Sunday and early next week, at least temporarily.